All right, I think we're live. How's it going? Aiden, Ollie, hello, how are ya? Reptile sisters. You're from Indo. Cool. How are we, guys? Have I been? I've been pretty good. Finally got a day off today, so I'm going to be, doing some stuff for you guys. I've got this live stream because I've had some people request that I do more live streams and come on and talk to you guys more. So I'm trying to do it when I can. And yeah, because I've got a day off today, I'll try and film some videos as well. So if you have any video suggestions for me, leave a comment. Hello from Germany. That's awesome. I've been to Germany before, albeit it was for like half a day, but it's awesome. It's crazy to think people can be watching from all around the world like that, Razia, how are you? Getting my beardies tank all done up today. That's awesome. What are you going to do to it? I've been meaning to redo my beardy tank. I really should be doing that at the moment while she's away sleeping. I want to build a whole new enclosure with a nice rock background, make it all custom and nice, but yes, short of time. I'm from South Africa. Wow, that's awesome. I've never been to Africa. Hopefully one day. Let's see a second here. Is that any better? Really? It's a pretty dark room in here. Sorry, guys. But yeah, how is everyone doing? What's new? Not much new here, really. The animals are, slow. But I just came from my room and I saw the western blue tongues, the male, is out again this morning. And he's been coming out most mornings now, as if to say, come on, turn the heat light on, let's get this going. But I might wait another week or so. I don't know. But yeah, it'd be good if they can breed this season. I have a corn snake. That's awesome. I love corn snakes. They're really cool. We have some at work, and they're cool little animals. It'd be a great pet to have, that's for sure. Named Allie. Nice. Howdy from Wyoming, USA. Awesome. What time is it where everyone's from right now? It's 9. It's nearly 9:15 in the morning here in Australia, where I'm at. My blue tongue is coming out as well, so I turned the heat light on. Yeah, cool. It's been a bit of a weird winter, this one. I feel like it's been a bit more mild where I am, so things aren't down for as long or as willing to go away. It's been a weird one. I don't know how it's going to affect the breeding season this year, but I guess we'll see. It's either going to be really good or not too good. 9:11 a.m. Yep. Yeah, hopefully we can get a good season this year. Any tips to get a nog to eat? I have a young pilgar knobtail gecko. He's gone nearly 8 days with no food. What's your heating like? If he's not getting warm enough, he probably won't want to eat, especially with at the moment the ambient temperatures being low, with it being winter. He probably won't be as keen. Otherwise, maybe try some different food items or change the time of day you're feeding, perhaps. Should I get boids? Should you get boids? See if I can find one. Should you get a little dinosaur? Well, depends. Are you really interested in them? Is it something you'd like to have? Do you have the right license? Most importantly, can you care for it properly? That's the biggest thing. A lot of people want certain reptiles and, I want this and this and this and this and this, but if you're not caring for them properly, then it's really not worth it. Because you want to have an animal that's, going to be thriving, going to be doing awesome, looking, incredible. And if you're providing subpar care, then you're really not going to have a good experience. But if you're into boids and you can take care of them properly and everything, then you really want some, then absolutely. They're one of my favorite animals I keep. Team 12 in Wyoming after 5 p.m. Yeah, fair enough. Hello, the last Griffinate. Good idea. I may get a sand monitor. That'd be cool. Sand monitors are pretty cool. I met a guy the other day at work. One of you guys, a fan of the channel, he saw me at work and we had a bit of a chat. He was going to get a sand monitor as well. So yeah, I hope that goes well for him, especially if you're watching, mate. Cam, mate, best dragon around. Oh, absolutely. You know it. I have a jungle python. That's awesome. I like jungles, especially like the high yellow ones. So pretty. 60 centimeter high, 9 centimeter wide, 45 deep, reptile tank. Too small for a bearded dragon. I made one of this size, but I think it's too small. It depends on the species, really. For a normal bearded dragon, like your Viticeps or central bearded dragon, or an eastern, I'd even say for a pygmy, you'd want to go bigger than that, really. And you'd want to deck it out, with climbing perches and stuff, so it can really use all that space. Yeah, I know you'd probably see a lot of people that would say that that'd be fine for a central beardy, but their beardies are, overweight, unhealthy, have no muscle tone, probably die young from like fatty liver disease or something due to lack of exercise and poor, and yeah. So I'd go bigger, especially if that's like the only reptile you have, like just go all out, deck it out, May as well. Give that animal the best life you can. Working on an enclosure for my Gila monster. I know how it's pronounced. That's awesome. Yeah, that'd be another cool species to be able to have. We have some at work. They're so cool. You just would not want to get bit by one. What should my blue tongues weigh to? How much should my blue tongues weigh to breed? I'm not sure. Depends. Is it a male or female? What species it is? I'm not sure. I more go off size, more than anything. I mean, you could have a really fat, obese blue tongue that's not fully grown. That might hit the weight, but if it's not big enough, then you could have complications, I reckon. Yeah, he wanted a central. Yeah, so I'd go bigger than that. I mean, I'd go minimum 4 foot long. for a central beardy. If you do get a central beardy, don't overfeed it. Don't let it be lazy. Make sure it's got a hot enough basking spot. Like between 40 and 45 degrees for the hottest point. There's too many tubby little lazy central beardies out there that look nothing like their wild counterparts. They're supposed to be slim, fit, little beasts, but most in captivity are just lumps. Any tips on getting turtles start eating pellets? I'm not sure really. I've never had a problem. Usually you just drop them in and they just go nuts for them. So I'm not sure on that one. Pass the information on to my friend. No worries. How big are your lizard pits? So the ones I got my blueies in are about 2 meters or like 2.5 meters deep, 1.5 meters to 2 meters wide, and height they're about 800 high, but they go under the ground about 30 to 40 centimeters. So yeah, they're a good size. Clint, how are ya? What's the most underappreciated Australian reptile? Oh God. Oh, that is so difficult. Let's just say out of what I own personally, I reckon probably the mountain dragons that I have. Just out of the stuff I have, the mountain dragons are pretty underappreciated, I think. I mean, they're such a handy little pet. They don't grow very big. They're like a tiny little bearded dragon that's just tiny, but way more active, way more engaging. I think they have better colors and personality, and they can handle such cold temperatures. And they can be kept outside along a lot of the East Coast. So I think they're really underappreciated. A lot of people think they die after like a year or two, which is not true. And yeah, but there's a lot of underappreciated Australian reptiles. Water dragons. No, a lot of people don't really think much about water dragons. But if you've got the right setup for them, outdoors and everything, they're incredible. Incredible animals. What else? God, there's so many. See, some like a lot of there's groups of people that really love these certain animals. Then like the majority are just like, whatever with them. Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to have a long think about that one. I should do a video on that. Thanks for the video idea there, Clint. Only reptile I've ever kept is a leopard gecko. But if I wanted a bearded dragon, I'd go for 120 gallon minimum. Yeah, for sure. Do you recommend having a southern angle-headed dragon for a 13-year-old? Yeah, for sure. As long as you do the research and, are able to afford it and can provide the right care for it, then absolutely, they're a great species. Go check out my videos I did on them, finding them in the wild. Awesome. They're one of my favorite things to find in the wild. They're so cool because they don't run away, usually. They'll just sit there on the branch and look at you. And then even if you do pick them up, most dragons or anything will try and, destroy you, bite your finger off, but they're usually pretty chill. So it's really cool. And yeah, they're not too hard to care for. They pretty much don't need heating, which is nice. So you just really need to fork out the money for a heat light, a UVB light. Make sure you get a quality one. And I'd also get a plant growth light and, make a whole bioactive enclosure. These rainforest species are such good animals to have for that because you get to make a whole ecosystem and environment. I mean, yeah, look behind me. You get to learn how to keep plants alive. You get to recreate a rainforest. And with that too, you can make it a bioactive enclosure, so you don't have to spend as much time cleaning. And it's just a win all around. And yeah, the angleheads are pretty easy to keep. Leo90, what's up? How's it going? What's a dream lizard of yours? I have so many dream lizards. God, I don't know. There's so many. I couldn't even answer that. Just anything that looks cool, really, I'd be like, yeah, I'll have that for sure. But it's got to be about what's practical. Like, I'd love a Komodo dragon. Who wouldn't want a Komodo dragon? You know, I've been fortunate enough to spend time with one-on-one time up close with 3 different captive Komodo dragons, and far out. They're such awesome animals, but I don't think I'd ever keep one myself because it's so unreasonable. Like, the amount of food you'd have to buy, the amount of space you'd have to dedicate to it. I mean, if that was like the only one thing I could keep, then sure, like, I suppose. But even then, it's just like, nah. So there's a lot that I want, but most of it's not practical. In my current situation, anyway. What's the most common pet reptile in Australia? For lizards, it's probably like either a beardy, a central beardy, a vidiceps, or a big beardy, a Henry Lawsoni. We're going to Henry Lawsoni. Otherwise, probably an eastern blue tongue, these skinks. And yeah, those 3 I'd say are probably the most common, or maybe some sort of knobtail gecko. Otherwise, yeah, for snakes, it'd be some sort of Antaresia, children's or stim nose. Otherwise, yeah, just your carpets and stuff. And yeah, like your Murray River turtle, I suppose, for turtles. Great answer. We like water dragons here, but they are everywhere in Australia, so it makes sense they're overlooked anytime. No worries. Yeah. The eastern water dragons, that is, but the Gippsland water dragons, so many people are after them, myself included. I'd love some nice Gippsland water dragons. Everyone has to go check out Ricky McKenzie's video on his Gippsland water dragons, the ones he found in the wild near his place. Those things are ridiculous. They're big beasts, but they're like this aqua blue color, and so beautiful. But yeah, like I said before, there's so many overlooked animals here. A lot of the smaller gammets too are really overlooked, like, because you don't need much space for them. A lot of them aren't that hard to care for, and they're just so awesome. Like netted dragons. I know Cam, if he's watching, he's got those the little rock dragons, and yeah, they're really cool. Oh my God, Clint is here. Yes, Clint is here. Hopefully Clint will actually be here one day again, and we can do some videos. It'll be good to catch up. What does it mean when a baby Savannah monitor sleeps a lot? Depends. It depends. What's your setup like? What time of year is it? Is it wild caught? You know, it's hard to say. Sometimes young reptiles do like to sleep a lot and, you know, hide away and not want to be seen. So there's a lot of factors there. It's all context related. If it's eating and, you know, looks healthy, is doing everything it should, just likes to sleep a lot, then I don't know, maybe you shouldn't be too worried. But, you know, if your temps are wrong and, you know, it's not looking healthy, you might have a husbandry issue there. You know, it's really hard to say just off that. If you're really unsure, just take it to a vet. Best advice I could ever give. My friend got one. He said it cost him $1,000 overall. What's this for? What was $1,000 overall? Big fan. I just started breeding crested geckos. Any advice you could give me? Thanks, bro. Well, I have never kept crested geckos before, so I would not be in a very good position to give you any information. But crested geckos are very cool, and I would most likely have one if I could. If we could have those exotics here in Australia. Maybe we'll get them into work one day, who knows. But yeah, good luck. And yeah, just give them a good life is all I'd say. Make a cool enclosure for them. They're another rainforest species again, so why not give them a fully sick planted enclosure, you know? Epic. My name is pronounced Zabrias, if you had trouble. Yeah, if I see a weird name, someone's icon, I usually just don't even try to pronounce it. Because I know I'll get it wrong. How much blue tongues cost in Australia? I assume that's blue tongue skinks cost in Australia. Depends on the species. So eastern blue tongues, which are the most common typically, can go from $20 to $80 each for a baby. Your blotched blue tongues, for your lowland form of the blotched blue tongues, again, can be, depending on where you're living, like if you're down in Victoria, I know they can be like $20 to $80. But typically your blue mountains, or sorry, your alpine forms are more like 100 to 300, depending on color and pattern. Your western blue tongues, again, are a bit of a mixed bag, depending where you are and what the person's asking and how rare, because they're pretty rare. You don't see them pop up very often. So I don't know. I got mine for about 200 each, which is pretty damn good. So yeah, Centralian blue tongues are, you know, probably about between $400 and $1,200 each. Again, depending where it's wild caught, captive bred, etc., and who's selling them. And what am I missing? Northerns. Not too sure about Northerns. I think they're about, you know, for normal, like 50 to 200, I'd say. And then shinglebacks all over the place again, depending on what subspecies. So yeah, it's probably nothing compared to what they are overseas. Currently doing a 3-walled enclosure with your rock background tutorial. My frillies coop, thanks a million. No worries. Send me a picture. If any of you guys make your own sort of stuff like that, you know, and you get any inspiration from my videos, whatever, send me a photo. I'd love to like compile all the pictures and everyone's setups and stuff and make a video out of it. You know, or just a video showing off everyone's cool setups. I think that'd be really cool. So I love sharing these ideas and, you know, putting cool enclosures out there. What type of thermostat do you use for your heat lights? I'm not aware of the one I saw in your heating wattage video. I don't know. I use a few different ones. A lot of them are pretty basic, just off-on thermostats. Yeah, I don't know. I've been actually meaning to get some new ones anyway. So I had a company reach out and message me to send me one to do a video on and try it out and stuff, but they never ended up sending it. So at least, unless it's still in the mail, yeah, it doesn't seem like they ended up sending it. So I guess I won't be using that. Yeah, we'll look into that more as we go on. Can Easterns and Gippsland water dragons breed together? Yes. I've definitely seen that before, but it's not something you'd want to do because you want to keep the Gippslands, you know, pure. Because, you know, they're so cool in their own right. Can't wait to return to Australia. One day isn't enough. That was a great day. I'm glad it was a great day. But yeah, you really got to put a solid, like, I don't know, just a lot longer into it and do some traveling around, go to different places. And yeah, a lot of cool reptile stuff to see for someone who's never seen it before, I imagine. It's not wild caught. Okay, well that's good then. What's your favorite Australian python? Good question. I don't know. There's a lot of cool pythons. I mean, it's hard to say no to a green tree python because they're epic. My favorites, I'm not going to say my favorite because it's too hard to pick a favorite. The ones I like the most are typically green tree pythons, rough scale pythons, diamond pythons. Just diamonds are just so pretty. And I do quite like Owen Pellies. They're pretty cool. I do like scrub pythons too. So I'd probably say them. I don't know. I just like stuff that's, pretty, has cool patterns, and, lives a pretty cool life. Like most of those are arboreal or semi-arboreal. And yeah, really interesting. Live in California, and I got northern for 360. The cheapest eastern I found was 800. Yeah, it's backwards over there. Easterns are more expensive, which is so weird. Yeah. Just feel lucky that you guys get to have, our reptiles, because we can't have any of yours. How often do you do live streams? So I've had some requests to do them more often. So I'm going to try and do that, but it's really whenever I get time. And yeah, when I'm not at work, I've got a day off today. And yeah, I can find a good time for it. This one seems to be going pretty well, so I might try and do them around this time all the time. But like I said, after this, I'm going to try and film some videos today. So let me know anything you want to see. Otherwise, I'll just try and think of something. Clint gave me a good idea, so might look into that. I don't think I'll film it today, but I'll get researching. Is it true that you're only allowed to own native species in Australia? Yep, 100%. As a private keeper, yes, only allowed to keep natives. And here in New South Wales, we have a licensing system, so everything goes on a license, and there's different stages to that license, which allows you to keep certain things at different levels. So here we have an advanced license, which basically means we're above. We can keep all the basic animals, which is things like your eastern blue tongues, blotched blue tongues, some carpet pythons, antaresia, basic species of turtle, and things like that. Next step up is the R2 or advanced license, and that lets you keep things like the Boyd's forest dragons, the Centralian blue tongues and western blue tongues are on there. I think R2 would be stuff like rough-scaled pythons, and your larger monitors too. Some of the larger monitors like lacies and stuff. And yeah, that's how it works here in New South Wales. Yeah. Building one of your outdoor lizard enclosures on wheels. Nice, nice. Hope it goes well for you. I'm hopefully going to be building soon might start getting the stuff for it tomorrow, outdoor mountain dragon enclosure. My plan is to have it sort of like, say we look at this enclosure. This like front section here, the sides and the back would all be this sort of metal panel stuff that I'm going to get. And then all across the front here, the sides up the top is going to be just like screen or wire with like front opening doors and screen on top as well. So they don't rub their noses on the side, and they can still get a lot of that UV through the wire. And yeah, I think it'd be a really good idea, really good for them. But, making it is going to be the challenge. Are there a lot of ball python morphs in Australia? Oh, no, absolutely not. No, because we can't keep ball pythons in Australia, unfortunately. We're only allowed to keep natives, like I just said before. So there could be some ball python morphs in Australia. I don't know. But if there is, it's illegal, and people have them illegally, which I don't doubt, or the zoos have some. It's the only way you're getting some ball python morphs in Australia. And even then, we can't have them legally. But yeah, that's a good one. Always wanted a green tree since I was 5 years old, but they're a lot of work with humidity and stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's really about the initial setup for a lot of species, I think. So if you get the initial setup right and you know how to maintain it, it's working properly, then a lot of species aren't as hard as some would think. But that being said, I've never kept green trees, personally. Seriously, sometimes think you're the one who made the "can't believe you've done this" video. I think I know the one you're talking about. That's funny. I get a lot of weird comments. People saying I look like certain people or sound like people. And people say I sound like Max Mofo. And I also apparently look like this actor. But yeah, I don't know. It's funny. Where do I work? I work at the Australian Reptile Park. I'd love to see a big salty. Absolutely. I should now be on an R2. Nice. Do you varnish your outside lizard hutches? No. They literally just have the wood part of them is literally just spray painted. Oh no. I put this UV protective paint on it. I remember I painted it on, but originally I spray painted them. But now they have this UV protective paint on it. But yeah. What's the more expensive subspecies of blue-tongued skink in Australia? Well, it depends. I'd say, well, what do you call them? The pygmy blue tongues. They're sort of out of the question for this. Otherwise, they'd probably be the most expensive. But you can't really get them, as far as I know. So I'd say the Centralian blue tongue would be the most expensive species. They're not a subspecies. They're a species of blue tongue skink. Yeah, the Centralians, I'd say, especially if they're captive bred, I'd say that they would, yeah, get the most money thrown at them. Hello, how are you? Morning, Cam, how's it going? Do you work at the Australian Reptile Park near the coast? Yes, I do. What reptiles are on your bucket list? So many. Green tree python, for sure, like I mentioned before. Probably rough scale python too, they're cool. Oh, emerald tree monitor, absolutely. Quite a few. It really it's all about, like, I want so many things, but it's all about having the space for it and the time and being able to do it properly. Like, yeah, I want everything in giant enclosures too, so it really cuts down on space and the amount of animals you can have. Like my adult boyd's enclosure over here. I love it. It's great. It works really well. But I want to make them a bigger enclosure. So, yeah. Doesn't help on the lizard hoarding and everything's in giant enclosures. But it's just cool. It's what I like. Also, bucket list animals, the Gippsland water dragons I mentioned before, the really high blue ones. See an albino blue tongue, it was 1,200. Yep, they're usually about between 1,000 and 1,500. Give me a shout out, please, Maurice Walker. There you go. What's one reptile you can't keep in Australia that you would like to have? Again, there is so many. Just anything that looks cool that's not Australian, basically. Especially like the cool looking lizards, like iguanas. Iguanas are epic, man. Like the Fijian iguanas, or even green iguanas. So cool, man. So cool. Where in the world am I? I'm in New South Wales, Australia. So about 2 hours north of Sydney. How did I get into reptiles? So I've been into reptiles since I was a little kid. I used to live up in Townsville, North Queensland, and we had a lot of wildlife around the house, really. We had snakes, lizards, obviously. In the front yard, I distinctly remember we had some little agamids, little dragons. I think they were, what were they? One of the boys just took a big fall. They were a little like tree agamid. I want to say a knobby dragon, but I don't think they were a knobby dragon. They're similar. They're like an amphibolus or something like that. One of those dragons, or a two-line dragon, in the front yard, in front of the big tree we had there. I remember going out the front, seeing that. I think I caught one, and it was just like, yeah, this is epic. And then, so yeah, we had a few of them as pets. We used to catch stuff, the wild animals back in the day when this was like 5 years old, 4 or 5 years old. Had them as pets. We had a water python, which we found in the chicken shed or something. Had that for ages. That thing was a little beast. It was awesome. I think we had a spotted python too. Just stuff like that. Frogs as well. And my dad, when he was young, he was really into reptiles as well. He had, he used to breed diamond pythons, blue tongues, beardies, had them all in his backyard. So he obviously loved them as well, and that's why I got to keep them and, learn heaps about them from him. And he encouraged it and everything. So that's how I got into reptiles, really. And then, it just sort of built from there. I moved down here to where I am now, and got some more. And it's picked up. That's my basic story. Australian bluey babies coming in the future. Need one. I need some too. I really hope they do breed this season. They were breeding last season, but nothing came of it. So hopefully this season, we'll see how they go. That's one of my biggest goals, that's for sure. I don't think I'll be selling any, though, if I do get babies, unless it's a swap for something cool. But, I want to build up a little army, and then so I can have enough to then sell. Going to bed since it's 2 a.m. Stay cool, Coop. All right, thanks for tuning in. I would not stay up till 2 a.m. watching this. Thanks for watching. I was at the Australian Reptile Park last week. Did not see you, though. It was really fun. Well designed. Awesome. Yeah, that was probably like the one day off I had, unfortunately. Queensland is going to that style license, I think. That's what I was reading in the email I got. Damn, that sucks. Queensland had one of the better systems, I think. When I was in kindergarten, I remember I had a children's python and it escaped one day. Went to school when it was in my pencil case, believe it or not. Wow, that's crazy. I'm sure that your classmates got a bit of a fright there. Wow. Planning on using a mesh hammock and some bird toys to provide some arboreal enrichment for my leopard gecko. Any other ideas? Scent enrichment, small animal toys, perhaps. Yeah, I suppose. They sound like good ideas. Yeah. I would just add in like some different plant matter and stuff that's like sterile, obviously, or whatever. Are blue-tongued skinks in Australia wild caught? No, they are not typically. Most are captive bred. It's in most places in Australia, it's illegal to wild collect animals unless you get some sort of special permit. But for like the pet trade, nah, it's usually illegal. Yeah. Should do an aquarium. I think it would be cool. I'm not that much of a fish person. They're cool, but that's my sister, right? I'm the reptile guy. Reptile, land animals, things like that. My sister's the marine biologist, so we have a shed full out the back of fish tanks and stuff that used to be full of a bunch of different cool species. But yeah, that's more my sister's thing, the fish, the aquatic stuff. I think I'm on the better side here with the reptiles. Fish are cool and all, but it's hard to beat one of these. Grumpy. All right, go on. How do I save money as a reptile keeper? Go watch my video called Saving Money Keeping Reptiles, I think it's called. I have a video on money saving tips. Easiest way is just keep things outdoors. You don't have to buy lights. You don't have to heat it. Obviously, you need to have a species that can handle being outdoors where you are. But yeah, there's a lot of good methods and tips I do in that video, so go watch that one. Most expensive lizard I own. That would be Mr. Crowley, the hypermelanistic blue-tongued skink, the fully black one. I'd say, yeah. What enclosure do you have your adult boids in? This one. If you're asking what the brand is, it is home brand. I made it myself. Well, me and my dad made it. So this is made from old windows we found on the side of the road. They were free, obviously. Old windows we found on the side of the road. Popped them out of their casings. Made a metal frame for it. I got a whole video on it, but made a whole frame for it out of metal. The back wall is just a plywood panel, which we then made fake rock over. And the bottom is like a metal panel thing. And it's all waterproofed with like aquarium silicone. And all put together, and boom, you have an enclosure. I want to make some more like that too, so I'm on the lookout for some more windows. You live in Vic, which is cold. Fair enough. yeah, go check out that video, and there's some other good tips there as well. How much was he? The hypermelanistic bluey. At the time I got him, he was 500, I think. 500 or 550. Now they're like 1,000. So I got him at the right time. Setting up a new enclosure for my jungle python, and I am wanting to go all out. What tips do you have? Just try and copy their natural environment. You know, get some good branches. You know, try and do some live plants. They're an animal that could have live plants, I reckon. Try and set up a nice live planted enclosure, bioactive. Go all out. Get some natural soil, some leaf litter in the soil. I like to just put gum leaves, makes it look really nice. And yeah, make it look awesome. Give them a good amount of space. By the way, I'm 14. Nice. Plenty of rocks and wood in the enclosure, especially in the basking area. Wanted something different, and I have a good amount of space left in her future tank. Thought I missed you. Nope, I'm still here. Watching some adult boys go crazy. What substrate could you use? If you're going bioactive, you could probably do a coir peat mix with maybe some yuki mulch, sphagnum moss, something like that. Yeah, you can still keep stuff outside in Vic. I'll just be a bit more careful with the temps. Is Clint still here? I don't know. Probably not. I'm sure he's too busy of a man to hang out here all day, which is fair enough. Yeah. I might head off soon as well. It's nearly 10 o'clock. I'll head off at 10 o'clock. So ask me any other questions if you have any. Yeah, just be careful with those toys that they aren't gonna have the potential to harm the animal by accident. You know, if they fall or anything like that. Yeah, it's been a pretty good stream so far, guys. Oh my god, we've nearly been on for 50 minutes. It goes so fast. What's up? Take care, Brad. See you later, if you're off. How much space is recommended for a blue tongue? Whatever you can give it, really. Depends on the species. And yeah, it needs to be able to do everything it needs to do, you know. For adult blue tongues of most species, I'd go a minimum of 1,200 long by 450, 500 deep. Just using yuki mulch and sugarcane mulch. Fair enough. I'd be careful if you're using the sugarcane mulch in a more humid setup, because it can go pretty moldy if it's exposed, you know, a bit too much water. The yuki mulch is really good though. It like prevents mold. I agree, Patrick. Again, if you're worried about how cold it gets in winter, you can just bring them inside for winter. Oh, I just remembered whoever asked before for reptiles I'd like to have but can't have, whatever. Tortoises, for sure. Tortoises are amazing. I would love a tortoise. It would be awesome. Oh, as well, guys, make sure you watch my most recent video talking about weird things my reptiles do. You can see some funny things I've caught them doing. And send me any of your weird things that you've seen your reptiles do. If you have any pictures or videos especially, that'd be awesome. But pictures will work as well. Send them to me on my Facebook page, which is Coops Reptiles, or at Coops Reptile World. Send them to me through there. Send me a message, or you can message me on Instagram. My Instagram is CoopVDW. And yeah, send them to me, and then I'm going to make a video compiling all those and showing off your weird reptiles. So make sure you send those through. That would be awesome. How do I successfully breed feeder insects? I have a video on that as well. Go watch that one. It's pretty easy. Mostly it's just making sure they're warm enough, because in winter especially, they usually slow right down. They won't breed. So you got to keep that heat up during winter, and then food. So heat and food and places to hide and live for most of them. What do I feed my blue tongues? Mostly dog food. Wet dog food out of a can. They get dry dog food as well. They also get roaches, fruit occasionally, some egg. Yeah, insects. That is their main diet. What would be a good scent enrichment? Should I spray fish oil or something? I'm not sure about that. I know, depends what species it's for. I know honey can be good. You can do a little dab of honey, stuff like that. Feed a hen cat food my 2-month-old northern blue tongue. Should add any greens or veggies. You can add greens or veggies if you like. I would just not do it as often. They go more. They eat more plant matter as they get older, really. So keep them more high protein when they're young. As they get older, add in some more fruit and veggies, more greens and veggies. How did you make your logo? I drew it myself. Yeah. I used Photoshop and just drew it. Took a while. Blue tongue skink is 6 months old. When should I introduce dog food? Now. All my blueies have had dog food since like the first day they were born. So yeah. Awesome. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to go film some videos, or try to, and whatever else. Make sure you guys send me any weird videos of your reptiles you have if you want to be in that new video. And yeah, thanks for tuning in. I'll do some more live streams in the future. Who knows? Maybe I'll do one tomorrow. I think I've got a day off tomorrow as well. So have a good one, guys. I'll see you soon.